So out of the millions of people that saw my last videos about this painting here, there's a few mixed reviews. For those of you that support me and are now here, thank you for being here. And for those of you in the art community that don't like what I'm doing, you're still watching.
The famous saying goes, great artists steal, bad artists copy.
If you ever find that you're the most talented person in the room, you need to find another room. Picasso didn't literally steal other painters' work. He merely imitated his favorite artists a lot.
Is originality truly original in the day of social media? Is there the ability, capacity to trace the influence of another work, inspired by another work? You know, where do we draw the line? I could see particular, very strong influences by other artists that come way before Tyler Shelton.
Oh no!
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thank you for visiting. I'm Henry Haight, I'm an artist in California. My pronouns are...
Why are you tormenting me? Why don't you go fuck a sheep, or your sister, or yourself?
And...
You're tacky and I hate you.
And if you're feeling a little sexy, this one too.
I'm a thief and a shit kicker, and I'd like to be famous.
While you're here, please hit that notification and the subscribe button to help a brother out here, to get me some likes and following, to get this thing machine rolling for you right now. The topic is art and theft. And is art theft relative? And is the idea of originality completely dead? This video is about a story I came across on YouTube about an artist who, by the name of Joseph Scott, is very influenced by a particular artist called Tyler Shelton, who goes by the name Shelton Art Co. Went online and found that Joseph had actually was heavily influenced by his work. Joseph Scott only having about 47 followers. Mind you, Tyler Shelton has a much larger following. Joseph Scott went to his 47 followers, showed the painting, and virtually said that, you know, he was going to try to sell it. Now, the kerfuffle starts when Tyler Shelton wasn't credited.
It's like boo-hoo.
The big crybaby's ego gotten and his knickers in a twist because he went online to virtually state that his followers should go over to Joseph Scott and tear him or rip him, you know, his ass apart, or tear his ass, rip him a new asshole. Really? I'm like, so I went to look at both artists' work, and the funny thing is, I can't believe that, you know, I'm making a video about this, but this is the world we live in now. So now the story evolved when Joseph Scott took it upon himself to express himself through an artistic way and was influenced by the work of Tyler Shelton. Accused Shelton for getting his mantis in a bunch, for feeling that his art was plagiarized and stolen. I'm looking at my notes here, sorry. Tyler, being the prima donna that he was, he went on social media and to tell his followers to go over to the profile of Joseph Scott and virtually rip this poor guy's ass to shreds. Now, I'm thinking, if you're confident in your work and your placement and where you are in your artistic journey as well as your career, why would someone with 47 followers bother you so much? He's not, I mean, he's virtually, they live in different parts of the state or in the States. If Tyler Shelton, for some context, he does art fairs. He's an artist in Austin, and Austin has a huge community. And looking at his stuff, I could see particular, very strong influences by other artists that come way before Tyler Shelton. Now, the online community was like, oh, you know, you're ripping off Jack Penny. And again, Jack Penny is an artist under 40. And when I look at Tyler Shelton's work, I see, you know, Dougie Fields, who is a British artist, who one of his most popular works, you can see very striking similarities for the artwork that he did for the motels.
Danger. Your love is like a stranger, so close and yet so far away. Daily, I'll make you my only by giving you everything that I had.
The famous saying goes, great artists steal, bad artists copy. Is originality truly original in the day of social media? Is there the ability, capacity to trace the influence of another work, inspired by another work? And what happens when someone accuses someone of art theft and the artist integrity, when someone is just simply trying to learn and influenced by the outpouring or the work of another artist?
Not demure.
You know, where do we draw the line? Now, being a kid of the 70s, I remember seeing this artwork for the album Careful in 1979, which was their debut album. Now, when you look at Tyler Shelton's work and Dougie Fields, there's a striking resemblance to that work. Dougie Fields died in 2021, and he's had a prolific career. And another artist that I find that Tyler Shelton is heavily influenced, or I could see the influences of. It may not be direct, but there's a very striking resemblance to that work, is the artist Gary Panter. Now, Gary Panter was a comic book artist and also collaborated heavily with the Pee Wee Herman Show. And he did comic books. He had a very distinct, bright color style that developed from the 80s. When I look at Tyler Shelton's work, I could see the 80s influences very, very heavily. Another artist that I see within Tyler Shelton's work is Egon Schiele. Now, Egon Schiele was an Austrian painter born from 1890 to 1918. Was a very prolific painter in a very expressionist way. When I look at Tyler Shelton's work, I can see the neo-expressionism. You know, I know that Terry Urban was posted on one of these things, which is he's become a very popular painter right now with his neo-expressionism that refers back to Basquiat. Now, Egon Schiele has influenced many contemporary artists, yet when I look at Tyler Shelton's work, it only goes back to about 2021, 2020. So he too is a very young emerging artist, and now there's nothing wrong with that. However, I think that to make such a huge stink about someone who's actually influenced and reached out to the guy and just tried to keep the peace, which I thought is commendable, and virtually within this going, yes, I'm heavily influenced by you. I know there's something to be said about an artist's ego to a particular degree.
Now keep in mind that I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my art.
All artists are influenced by certain artists, and our job is to make some sort of transformative work from the influences that we get to virtually put our face in. But yet, you know, to go ahead and chastise this guy who's virtually his first attempt, use his influence or his power trip to somehow dox this fucking kid, just really shows what type of person he is. If you think about historically, apprentices in art studios were told to paint, repaint, and attempt to paint masterworks, masterpieces, so that they learn the structure of how a painting works. That's the nature of how we actually learn. If someone is so insecure about their work, that speaks volumes, because, you know, you could just shrug it off and let it go, but clearly this guy didn't. When Joseph Scott said that, you know, if he sold the painting, he would try to, like, give him a portion of the proceeds or however it works or whatever, but Scott wasn't having any of it, or Shelton wasn't having any of it, and he went ahead and blocked him. If for me, I wouldn't be so gracious.
You ain't getting 88 cents from me, Rose.
So I would have been, you're dead to me. No, I wouldn't fucking care, because when you are an artist and you put your work out there and you put it online, it is going to be, you don't know where that digital picture is. And social media, especially younger people now, they really don't respect the efforts because everything is so accessible to them online, where they think they can take it. People have taken my art and just did whatever they want with it, tried to sell it. And, you know, I'm in the midst of trying to fix that shit. But this is something that we have to deal with. When we finish a piece, we have to release it and let it go. And that's the end of it. If my advice to Tyler Shelton is grow the fuck up, man up, and just, I don't know, take a different viewpoint or a different tactic in your painting, because then your work could be transformative and virtually tells a story about you. But when I see, you know, these works, his work is nice. I mean, he's got a talent. I'll give him that, yes. But would I buy it? No, because it's not really I'm not into that 80s pseudo. I mean, I saw it growing up when I was a kid. Even still, I can see influences of these particular artists in Tyler Shelton's work. You know, but to kick up a stink about someone who's just trying to learn, on the flip side of that, he's virtually made another piece, put it on Etsy, and truth be told, I like this painting more than I do the first one. because art is theft to a certain degree. How you choose to tell that story matters. And he took this creative act, just put it out there as, yes, art theft. Not too long ago, Robert Longo reproduced artworks and did a show at exhibition called I Am a Thief, where he reproduced charcoal drawings of masterpieces to the letter. Just mind-blowing show. And again, it's just like, I know most of the artists are dead, but the whole thing is that this is a practice that is notorious. But online social media, and everyone has their 2 cents, where this girl said, accuse Joseph Scott of, using it as a marketing ploy. I find that absolute bullshit. And, she should take a, first-class trip ticket to Shut the Fuck Upsville and mind your own goddamn business.
Oh, well, why don't you shut your hoe ass up?
Because everyone has an opinion, including me. The whole thing is that when it comes to art, this is something that if you're going to put your stuff out online and on social media and stuff, you have to let it go. And what people just do with it. I like when kids try to draw my work. I don't like it when people try to sell my shit and profit from, this is something that people don't really respect anymore, because art is too accessible to them through social media, and they feel that they can take what they want and do it. All established artists have to deal with this, and it's an ugly side of the business. However, I think that had Tyler Shelton just said, it's cool, and think, wow, this guy has been inspired to actually pick up a paintbrush and be influenced by what I do, should be blessing enough, but clearly not. I don't know, but I'd like to know what you guys think in the video. When you look at Tyler Shelton's work, you can actually see, and I will post, the similarities between these artists, that you can see these influences. Why would anyone when I look at Terry Urban's work, I can see the Basquiat influences directly, but at the same time, he's kind of, I think Terry Urban has opened up the Basquiat canon to a younger generation, because musicians are always influenced by others. And virtually, Tyler Shelton should have been just shut the fuck up and be grateful that someone was influenced by his own creative output, because that is where you are on the right track to something good. But my advice to Joseph Scott, you two are on the path to something good, because you affected someone with your art, good or bad. I like the second painting. The first one, but the second one, my first reaction was I smiled. And because that's what it, I like this guy. But yeah, you're keep doing it and fuck everybody else. Who cares what the internet thinks? Because you're going to find your buyer. If not careful, that famous saying, you go forward, I'll go forward, and you go backward, and somewhere we'll be in between. That's the truth of the matter. So hit that notification button for all of the updates and new posts on this channel. Thank you for watching, and let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Okay? Take care. Peace.